Okay, first limit question. It is, there's a couple different types of limit questions. This one in particular falls into the category of being a definition of a derivative at a point. I can tell that it's definition of a derivative at a point because it's got the minus 2/5, the minus piece. Actually, hold on. Alright, so I put two definitions for derivative at a point over here. First one is the one that you'll likely see more often on the test. The second one is written more properly with h's instead of x's. But what you should be able to do here is look over to the left at the purple stuff. You should see that the 2/5 corresponds with that guy. So that must be f of c. And then the fraction in front of it, this guy, appears like it's f of x plus c. My c value here is it's 5, but it appears to be either 2 or 5 based on what I have here. And then the x on the bottom lines up with that. So what you do here is my f of x, you need to be able to identify that as being 2 over x. You get good at recognizing these. Notice if the c is 5, then this c is 5, then it works where this one is 2 over x plus 5, and then this one is just 2 over 5, so that's f of c. So anyway, you identify f of x, then you say, alright, well, I know that this is definition of a derivative at a point. So you need to identify your point next. The point is that c value. So I'm looking for the derivative of this guy at x equal to 5. So I'm looking for f prime of 5. That's really what I'm looking for. So you need to do some work to get there. I'll come back over there in a moment. f of x could be rewritten as 2 times x to the negative 1, because that's how I put a fraction in the base. So I write it in that way so that I can then use power rule on it. So f of f prime of x, the derivative of that, is, I use power rule, I multiply the negative 1 by the 2, that gives me negative 2, and then I rewrite my x, and I reduce the power by 1. So when I reduce the power by 1, I go from negative 1 to negative 2. And I could rewrite that as negative 2 over x squared. So, just to recap, I looked at the limit, I recognized it was definition of derivative, I identified the function 2 over x, I identified the point x equal to 5, then I derived the function, boink, down, or I rewrote the function in a way that I could derive it, then I derived it, and I have it now in this form right here. Now my last step is to evaluate that limit. Remember, that is the definition of a derivative at a point, at points 5, so I need to plug in 5 to what I circled over on the right. So that's negative 2 over 5 squared, which is negative 2 over 25. Hopefully that helps.